بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. I know a little Kiswahili, but I'm not fluent, so it takes me a long time to deliver my talk in Kiswahili first, and secondly, I cannot express my content because there are many issues that I don't know in Kiswahili. So, Alhamdulillah, you can converse in English, and if sometimes you wanted to ask something in Kiswahili, if you speak slowly, not very fast, I try to catch. Feel free to enter the discussion, ask your question, challenge me. We can have in between. So I think I prefer myself. So whenever you have the question, you just raise your hand, enter the discussion. It is much livelier to have it in between rather than the end. But still at the end, if there were some questions left, inshallah, we will talk about it. So here we have, I think, a group of brothers and sisters who are some probably studying in university, some have finished their high school and they are active in some other areas. May I know who are on WhatsApp? Please raise your hand, those who have WhatsApp. Okay. Yes, good. And in WhatsApp, there are some, you have individual contacts and also you have groups. I think most of you who have WhatsApp, you have also a member of groups. It's not just for individual, I mean, contacts. Who are on Facebook? Please raise their hand. Okay, Facebook 1. So it has 2. When I first came to Tanzania, 2010, then I think Facebook was much more popular. And anyone on Instagram? Oh, so here is like my country. Instagram also is popular. And on Telegram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think Insta and WhatsApp are number 1, and Telegram. Is there any other social media which I have not mentioned? Any?
Twitter.
What?
Twitter.
How do you spell it?
Twitter.
Twitter. Okay, right. Twitter. How many on Twitter? You alone? Ah, there is one also, 3. Okay. These social media networks came to our life in the last decade. 20 years back, most of us probably even didn't have cell phones, let alone to be, I don't know, active in internet and in social media. I remember when I was in the 7th year of my seminary Hausa studies, in my 5th year of Hausa studies, in our school of 300 students, and some came from rich families, not all from poor families or middle class. I think we had 3-4 people who had cell phone. And then little by little, when I bought cell phone, I was married. Yes, it was after marriage that and it was just starting. It came from the other side of the world. It entered our culture. Now, my question, is it something good, bad, or neutral? It depends on you, for example. I mean, by neutral, I mean it depends on the way you use it. So it's in itself, when it came to our life, you see, it was not there in our life. Ask your parents. They had no idea of this social network. So it came to our life years back. And with its coming, it had some effects. You can make a judgment now. An overall judgment, generally. I don't mean individual cases. Generally, was it something good, bad, neutral? What do you think? My friend? Yes. Basi, unafikiri social media yani baada ya kuingia utamaduni wetu iliingia utamaduni wetu, culture yetu kutoka magharibi. Basi vipi iliingia? Namna nzuri, namna mbaya, au si nzuri wala mbaya, inategemea jinsi unavyoitumia. So choose one of these three. Let me give you an example. Do you agree with me or not? Imagine a knife, upanga. Is it good or bad? Good? Good or bad? Good. Why? Why is it good? What do you do with it? You call it good. Why? Kwa sababu unaweza kufanya kazi nyingi na upanga. Kukata nyama, na kukata majani, sawa? But have you ever heard of the genocide in Rwanda? Watu wangapi waliuawa pale? Wangapi? Nani anajua? Hamjui historia ya Afrika? Wangapi waliuawa katika Rwanda genocide? Sema. Unajua? Hujui. Hii ni tatizo. Sisi tunahitaji kusoma vitabu, historia yetu. Genocide kubwa kuliko zote katika karne 20 ilitoka Afrika hapa, Rwanda. Kwa mujibu wa UN, ripoti ya UN, karibu milioni moja waliuawa katika genocide ya Rwanda. Do you know many of these people were killed with upanga? Not guns. Okay, guns were used and upanga was used. Match it. So many people were killed. So is it good or bad? So you change your idea. Or I can say it inategemea. If you use it for this, okay, I mean, upanga itself is neutral. It says, okay, I don't move, I'm here. Catch me, use me. If you use it this way, it is good. If you use it this way, it is bad. Right? Nakubaliana nami? Wote? Na social media ni kama upanga hii, sahihi. Yani inategemea. Yani social media yenyewe haina athari nzuri wala mbaya. Ni kama upanga, inategemea jinsi unavyoitumia. Sahihi? Wote wanakubali? Mimi sikubali. I don't agree. This is a misconception. We think, I think this is not a good example. Let me change the example. Elephant in Kiswahili tembo, right? Have you seen elephants here? In your country you have elephants. Have you seen? Yes. All? Do you know we have two types of elephants? African elephants and Asian elephants. In India, this is two different. Their size even is different. The size, the appearance. But there is one big difference between the elephants in India and the elephants in Africa. Who knows? Tofauti gani baina ya tembo bara Hindi na tembo hapa Afrika? Nani anajua? Chef Murtaza, do you know?
African.
They speak Swahili, they speak India. Okay.
This one is white as well as domestic.
Tamed, right. In Asia, the Indians managed to tame, you know taming, to make the animal, I don't know in Kiswahili what you call tame, but to make the animal follow your order. It's like a dog, you see? Dog, you train it. You tell the dog to go, it goes. You tell the dog to come, it comes. So elephants in Barahindi, in India, they have tamed the elephants. Now they use the elephants for agriculture. Oh, so strong. Here in Kenya, in my country, Iran, in the past we used cows for digging the ground, for cultivation. We need to plow the earth. So we used cows because cow is strong, ng'ombe. But in India, they used elephants. They managed to tame this animal. But in other parts of the world, in Africa or other parts, no. The elephants are in the jungle, in the forest, like other animals. They are not tamed. So they are very dangerous. Though they don't eat you, but they may tremble. They can attack you and kill you. You have to be careful not to approach an elephant here. So elephant can be tamed. But in itself, an elephant is dangerous. An elephant in hatari yenyewe bila ya kupewa training. So see kama upanga. Upanga doesn't move. It is there. It's only you to decide what to do with it. But elephant doesn't wait for you to decide. It attacks. It's you who can control it. You can tame it. You can use it. You can bring it to your side. There were some armies, baadhi ya jeshi katika historia walitumia tembo badala ya farasi. So you can use it. It has much strength. It is very strong. But if you do not do that, you are the victim. So you are either the victim or very strong. Social media is like that elephant. It is not like that upanga. When it comes to your culture, if you don't do anything, it destroys you. It's not okay, I just keep it, it's neutral. I keep my way and let it do what it wants. I don't touch it. No, if you don't touch it, it touches you. If you don't care about that elephant comes after you. You are living in the forest now. It is there in your house. It is there in your school. It is here in your room, in your bedroom. So either to control it, to tame it, and then you can become strong, or you are the victim. That was just what I think about the social media and the way it entered our culture. Was it clear so far, my talk? If there was some question, any obscurity, anything not clear, please let me clarify myself before I proceed. Any objection? Any comment? Even in Kiswahili, don't worry, English or Kiswahili, whatever, or Arabic. Okay.
Social medias zimetengenezwa pia miongoni mwa malengo yake ni kuharibu utamaduni wa jamii nyingine. Kwa mfano, wa magharibi wametengeneza social medias mahususi kuharibu utamaduni wa Muafrika. Kwa hiyo kama Waafrika hatutochukua hatua za control social medias kama ulivyosema, social medias zitatu affect sisi direct bila sisi kujua. Yeah, I think hiyo ni comment yangu.
Ahsantum. But I think, I agree, you said that they created social media to destroy other cultures, okay? Like the culture of Africans. I say, I'm not sure that their only purpose was that, because they started social media first among themselves, then it reached Africa, Asia, and other countries. So social networks in America was very active, Facebook was very popular, before it was much known in Africa. It ruined even their own culture. But what was the purpose of the first person who started that? Probably sometimes, I'm not sure if he had planned that I do that to destroy. Sometimes you start something, but then after a while you say, okay, I can use it for this purpose. That might be the case. I'm not saying that from the first day they did it on purpose to destroy. But it is something that is, I just report what I see. I don't know behind the curtain now. Because if you say that, then you need to prove. You see, we have to be very careful about these statements. Not to just make it just as a public talk. Okay.
Can I give an example? You can have a knife when you control close vegetables, but you can use later on the knife to kill someone. Yeah, that is what I mean.
Okay, thank you. But my point was even more dangerous than that knife. Because that knife, if you don't touch it, it cannot harm anybody. Only your bad intention will make it work negatively. But there are some things, even if you don't take initiative, still it has some harms. You have to be it's dangerous in itself. This is the way social media was created. Yes, thank you. So we concluded that it is not something bad. You can use it in a very good way, and it can give you some strong points that you never achieve without that. So we should not dissociate ourselves from social media. Oh, it is bad, so keep distance. I don't say that. I say that you have to be active. You have to be influential, not victim. This is the point. Now, our time is short because I have here a long list of topics to discuss. But I prefer not just to talk and talk and talk. I want you to involve in the discussion. Now, we have some benefits and some disadvantages. Can you please tell me one benefit of the social media? Easy communication. So, what is the benefit of easy communication?
Reaching to the family members all around the world easily.
Okay, this is a good point. So, here, I write here, and because I have written something, but this point is missing in my points, that when you have this easy communication, you can connect to your family, your relatives all over the world so easily. What is the title in our Islamic teachings? It has one Arabic term. When, my brothers and sisters, you have studied Islamic studies somehow, a little or a lot. Kuwasiliana na jamaa zako, familia zako, inaitwa nani? Inaitwa nini? Katika fikra za Kiislamu au itikadi za Kiislamu, inayo title maalum. Najua kuwasiliana, naam Sheikh alitaja, lakini nadhani wengi hawakusikia. So kuwasiliana na marafiki, si marafiki, yani jamaa, relatives. Kuwasiliana na relatives ina title maalum. Najua hamjui. Silatul rahim. Silatul rahim hii ni muhimu sana katika mafunzo ya Kiislamu. Kwa mtazamo Kiislamu, silatul rahim ni muhimu sana. Alhamdulillah, katika Afrika mimi nimeona silatul rahim ina mahala kubwa. It has good position to be in touch with your family members, with your relatives. In the past, it was so difficult. You have a relative in India, a relative in America. To write a letter, how long it takes. It is expensive to make a phone call. Now, very easily you can connect to them and keep this friendly and lovely relation with your relatives. And it is a good point. So this is an advantage. Another advantage, manufaa ya social media. Taja nufaa, singular nufaa, say, nufaa jingine.
Enhancing economy through marketization.
Okay, economic benefit of that, because you can market your goods, your products easily, and you can make income. Yes. What else? Yes.
Sharing of knowledge.
Sharing of knowledge. Good. Now, just for that purpose, I have written here 2 points, but one I want to emphasize now: sharing knowledge. You see, if there is a book, you read the book, okay, and you learn something. But you have some questions, not necessarily you can find the answer in that book. Give you an example. I give you an example. You are following a mujtahid, okay? For example, Ayatollah Sistani, Ayatollah Fulani. Now, you want to go, you go to mosque, you want to pray. Oh, there is some question. You check the Risala. Sometimes you find the answers, sometimes you don't. When you don't find the answers, you have to write a letter to the office. In this particular case, what I should do? It is called istiftah. Because whatever is written in the book does not give you the answer to all questions. And it takes time, go back. And many people, they don't ask because, oh, he doesn't have time. Now, with this social media, you can easily access the knowledgeable people. Any question you have in mind, you just send a message, you get the answer. So these are the benefits that we should not underestimate. In the past, we did not have this access. You could read a book, but your questions are not answered. Now you have the knowledge and you have someone to answer your questions. It is very important. This is something that was not provided in the past. But na maadili ni general term. Sawa? Kwa mfano kusema uongo ni mfano moja au baadhi ya ufisadi wa sexual corruption, for example. So this is forbidden also. But you know, hunting is not easy job. You have to take a gun to go to the desert to shoot, to find something. It's very difficult. It's not, or a bit difficult. It's not an easy job. But God tested Muslims a difficult test. One day in one of the Hajj journeys, when the Muslims were going toward the Hajj in the state of Ihram, they saw a big flock of antelopes or gazelles. I don't know in Kiswahili what is this called. So they were just passing by the Maghrib as if they knew these people cannot hunt us. They were accessible. I mean, they were in reach. You could catch one by hand. And it was strange because these animals normally keep distance from human. They don't come near. It's difficult. If you follow one, you will exhaust yourself before catching one of them. Now, a group of them, and imagine the meat is delicious. And because these animals which live in desert, they're very delicious. And they are in reach, and it never happens again in your life. Like some people, when they go to some tourist site, oh, I should take a selfie. I will never come this place again. I should not miss. You see, just a selfie is so important for us. Now, this animal, you can catch it, you can hunt it, you can cook it, and it's only once in your life. It was a test by God. God says, I am testing you to see who are pious. لِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ مَنْ يَخَافُهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. Who is the one who can stop his temptation? I think this is the example of our life today. In the past, 100 years ago, always in the history of human, there were some people who were sexually corrupt, very corrupt in the society. They committed adultery, fornication, they had relation with several people. Prostitutes were there. In the time of the Holy Prophet, there were prostitutes. In Mecca, there were prostitutes. So corruption was always there. Sinful parties were always there in the history. But for a typical person in society to access these sexual corruption centers was not an easy job. If you lived in a religious family and in a religious community, you should look for a very secret place just to look at someone in a lustful way, to find someone dressing not improperly. It was not in the street. It was not there. It was somewhere hidden. So it was difficult for you to access corruption. But today, everything is in reach. A minute, a second, just press. It's like those animals by which God tested the pilgrims, the Hujjaj. Now this is the test for us. So that is why it is more difficult to keep faith. We have a hadith saying that in the end of time, to keep your faith is like what? Anyone knows that hadith? Yes, you know it.
It's like the hot charcoal.
Yes, it's like holding a hot charcoal in your eye, in your hand. كما كوشيكا أو كوبيبا كوشيكا كا يعني موتو أو كا موتو sawa mkononi ni rahisi au ngumu? Ngumu kabisa. Basi, because you see, now social media, because even social media it's not only with social media, even before social media, with satellite channels and with these advertisements on signboards, it had already started. But still, in social media, it is broader, because Your son has his phone only this size. You don't see what he watches. And he doesn't see what you watch. So everyone has a single room where no one can check. At least in the past, the family members could check. Because if you want to watch a TV, you have to use the TV. And the TV is watched by at least 4 people, 5 people. But now you have one TV in your hand. And it's only you. لِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ مَنْ يَخَافُهُ بِالْغَيْبِ. So then God will test who is the God wearing. Because now it's only God whose fear may stop you. Because you do not fear even your father now. Your father does not know what you see. So this is a harm, isn't it? Is it even for me? I'm not saying for my children. I'm not only worried about my children, I'm worried about myself as well. So I think, as my friend, what's your name? A good participant, an active participant. Yunalako? Sha'ban. Okay. As Sha'ban said, and also my sister also, she also had a good comment. Your name? Amina. Yes. My sister Amina also mentioned, this is an important matter, this, the issue of sexual corruption that is promoted by social media, and we have to be careful. We are the victim of the Western culture in this regard. The Western culture itself is a victim of their own mischief. You have to read history a little. Tunaitaji mimi na wausia wote kusoma historia. Kusoma historia kunayo manufaa mengi. Vipi magharibi ilivyofikia hali ya leo? Siku hizi tunasikia fikra za LGBTQ, fikra ya gender fluidity, fikra za ajabu yani. Hata mathalan baadhi nimeona mwanafunzi mmoja magharibi anasema mimi ni nimesahau kwa Kiswahili, cat, paka. Na gazeti wanaandika makala, wanahami haki za mwenye kudai kwamba yule ni mnyama kwa mfano. So what happened to them? They started in the 19th century. They removed religion from social life and political life. But still they kept faith in God. And they practiced some religious values in life, especially because they were in confrontation with the Eastern Bloc. We had Western Bloc and Eastern Bloc. Eastern Bloc means some countries, especially which country? At that time it was not called Russia, it was Soviet Union and China. They were communist. They did not believe in God, no God. So the West was the opposite front. They said, no, we believe in God. So they had removed religion from life, but they still had faith in God. That was good, at least. After a while, since they started forgetting about religious values. In 60s and 70s, in the 20th century, 1960s, 1970s, they had sexual revolution in the West. Almost simultaneous with our Islamic revolution in Iran. So what was the manifestation of that? Then you see people breaking social norms, dressing in a very immodest way. So if you look at the movies produced before 1950, you see most women, they wear long dress. Okay, they are not Muslims, they don't have hijab. Even in 18th century, they don't have hijab. Even in 17th and 16th century, they don't have hijab. They don't have a scarf. But they have long dress. They dance, but in a modest way. They write stories, but not very explicit. So from 60s and 70s, they started that sexual corruption. They started, some even went naked, just to object to the social norms. They said relations outside marriage is okay. From that time, they publicly announced. You see, here, I know in our societies also, unfortunately, we had some illegitimate relations. It is there. But people hide it. They don't speak loud about it. At least they know this is not good in the society. But they know, they publicly said, oh, it's okay. Relations, okay. Outside marriage, okay. What happened to them? So don't think that they just want to destroy everyone. First, they were destroyed. They were not like some people. Sometimes you see there is a person who wants to poison me. No, he himself is poisoned first. They started these free relations. What happened? Now, make a comparison in your mind between a young, committed, religious person and a hippie. Hippies, this is a movement in the West in 70s. Hippies, they had free love. So they said free romance, free love. Okay. Now compare between these two. This man has a wife. He goes to work. He comes back. God has put within us sexual desire. Okay, he satisfies this desire with his wife. Nobody else. He doesn't look at porn. Because sexual desire can be satisfied in different ways. By eyes, by ears, to listen to sexual music or poems. By reading sexual novels. No, he doesn't do that. Does not flirt with girls. Just has relation. So it's like a hungry person who eats food on time. When you are hungry, even a dry bread is tasty, so delicious. But if you go and just there is a table full of food, you just take a bite of this, take a bite of that, every minute. Not 3 times per day, all the time. Just a bite of this, a bite of that. You will be fed up with. You see, you will not like any food. The most delicious food they bring to you, oh, I'm full. I don't like it. I don't like it. See, a person very rich goes to a restaurant and orders the best food. But the first dish, he eats, okay, now he has no appetite. Then, okay, bring me appetizer. A poor person does not eat appetizer. He always has the appetite because he's hungry, okay? And he tastes really the taste of food. He enjoys food, eating food. But someone who every minute takes a bite, he doesn't feel hungry. And he doesn't enjoy. He always needs something to give it appetite. Appetizers were invented for this purpose, to bring appetite to these people. Okay, now in sexual matters, even these appetizers do not work after a while. Now say, I should bring innovation. So now instead of one gender, the other one. Go to homosexuality. Yes, there are some people born with abnormalities. I don't deny that. It's there. There are many abnormalities. One may be some different, orientations. But majority, typical person, is straight. So these people, when they see that there is nothing to enjoy more, probably I should try this, I should try that. And then every day something new comes up. So this poison is affecting stage by stage. So now they in the West have been poisoned to this level. And this is now another human, we can say, deficiency comes up. You see, we have some good and some bad, some virtues and some vices, some good qualities and bad qualities. We human, God has created us with two sides. One bad quality also is that a person wants to dominate others. I want to be the boss. So I want everybody to do what I do. Let's just stop here. I just again ask you some questions. Kuhusu historia, unajua katika historia tulikuwa na ufalme mbalimbali, kama ufalme wa Misri, ufalme wa Ethiopia, ufalme wa Persia. Baadhi walifuata dini ya Mwenyezi Mungu, kama kwa mfano Ukristo. Baadhi walifuata idol worshipping, sanamu, kuabudu sanamu. Sawa? Najua ufalme gani katika historia ambao ulikuwa na itikadi za kuabudu sanamu, itikadi ya kuabudu sanamu? Najua? Taja mfano mmoja. Hii zamani kabla ya miaka 2000 kwa mfano au zaidi. You may tell me even the history of Rwanda for the contemporary age we did not study. Now you expect us to study something for 2,000 years ago. Aslan taja baadhi ya ufalme wa zamani, kama ufalme sauti ya juu, kama nini?
Naam.
Kama ufalme,
kwa mfano Rome.
Ahsan. I was looking for this one. Ufalme wa Rumi. Unajua dini gani wanao? Unajua Rumi wakati ule walifuata dini gani?
Sikuwa ni mwenye kusema zaidi, ila naona kwamba walikuwa ni wenye mara nyingi wengine wanafuata masanamu.
Ndio. Baadaye walikuwa Wakristo, lakini zamani kwanza waliabudu masanamu. Ahsan. Masanamu mengi, nadhani Jupiter na Zeus mengi. Ahsan. Rumi alipigana, yani ufalme wa Rumi ulipigana ufalme wa Greece na hatimaye ulishinda. Basi Greece ilikuwa chini ya utawala wa Rumi. The Romans, they had gods, many gods. The Greek also, they had gods. So what did they do? You see, they replaced Greek gods with their own gods. You see, there was no financial benefit in that. Don't always look for a financial benefit. So, oh, this is a plan, it is for some financial good benefits. No, sometimes it is because when I want everyone to follow me. Like Pharaoh. He says what? Ana Rabbukum al-A'la. He wants to be the dominant. This is the nature of a human who is far from God. He wants to make himself the superior to all. Now, in the Western culture, they had created first, they had created this idea of sexual freedom and whatever. I mean, gender issues, these matters, family issues. Now, even if there is no financial benefit for them, there might be some, but even if there is no financial benefit for them, still it is itself an objective. Because I want others to look like me, to follow me. Like Romans, they had gods. Greek, they had gods. No one worshipped Allah. But they said replace your, and they were very similar. The gods of Romans and Greek were very similar. But what happened? They went to the temples and replaced those gods with these gods. Nothing to do with their life. Just to show that I'm the boss. This is something that human greed is after it. Oh, I took so long, and I talked so long, and there are many other subjects that I have written here. We just focused on one, I think, of these disadvantages. And well, just I will finish this particular one, then we will have, if there is question and answer, then we'll think if there was any other session, because I think less than half of the subject was covered. But at least this particular matter, when we talked about sexual issues, this problem, here I want to mention one hadith. Let me read the Arabic hadith, it is beautiful. عن أبي عبد الله عليه السلام قال إن الله عز وجل بعث ملكين إلى أهل مدينة ليقلباها على أهلها. Imam Sadiq عليه السلام anasema Mwenyezi Mungu alipeleka malaika wawili kwa ajili ya kuadhibu au si adhibu, punish. adhibu? Not torture, punish. Punish is adhibu. يعني أصلا نعم wenye watu wa kijiji kimoja au mji mmoja. فلما انتهينا إلى المدينة وجد رجلا يدعو الله ويتضرع. Walipofikia mahali pale walimkuta mtu mmoja mwenye kumwabudu Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala vikali, sahihi au si vikali, yani sahihi sawa. فقال أحد الملكين لصاحبه أما ترى هذا الداعي. Malaika mmoja alimwambia wengine, angalia, muangalie. فقال قد رأيته ولكن أمضي لما أمر به ربي. Mwingine alisema mimi nilimwona, lakini mimi lazima nitekeleze amri ya Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Mimi sijali nani yupo hapa. Mwenyezi Mungu anajua kila kitu. Basi Mwenyezi Mungu la hatman anajua mtu kama yule yupo mjini hapa. Lakini hii ni amri ya Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. قال لا ولكن لا أحدث شيئا حتى أراجع ربي. Lakini malaika mwingine wa kwanza akasema mimi sifanyi hivi, mimi nitarudi na nitamuuliza Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. فعاد إلى الله تبارك وتعالى فقال يا رب إني انتهيت إلى المدينة فوجدت عبدك فلانا يدعوك ويتضرع إليك. basi alikwenda kwa Mungu akamuuliza mtu fulani anakuabudu. فقال امضي بما أمرتك به فإن ذا رجل لم يتمعر وجهه قيضا لي قط. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala akamjibu, rudi na fani nafanya kazi ambayo mimi nilikuamrisha. Mtu yule, this man, he never got angry with those sins which were committed in his city. So he was always worshiping God. But many sins, many corruption, much corruption was done in front of his eyes, before his eyes. He had no objection even in his face. So sometimes we enter social media, we see these corruption that you mentioned. Some people are attracted to these sexual attractions. They are involved, like an addict, like someone who smokes. Some people do not smoke, but they live with those who smoke, and it is something easy for them to go with that. It is also another side effect. This is also another harm. If I do not commit a sin, but if committing sin becomes something easy for me, I mean, if others are committing sin, I don't, it's okay. Let's go with it. Then it is again a deficiency in my soul. Hii ni kasoro. God is angry when he sees that his servant who worships him, who believes in him, does not take any action against this corruption. So if I'm in a group, I'm in a WhatsApp group, I'm a follower of someone on Instagram, and I see this corruption, probably I'm a pious person, I don't look at these pictures, but my presence there shows that, okay, it's okay with me. I don't object. My presence there gives recognition, normalizes. So you see, 20 years back, some acts we did not agree with, we did not accept in society. Today we accept. Even religious people, they say, okay, now this is the custom, this is now the way people live. They have accepted normalization of some wrongdoing. So my mere presence in some groups, sometimes you may say, okay, I don't participate, but your silent participation works against you and your soul and your society. The last point in this regard, because I said I just want to conclude one point. What is the solution? I think in this regard we have to go to these two verses of the Quran. But before that, I ask you a question. If there is a way, there is a road, iko ndia, unataka kuenda mahali fulani, iko ndia, hiyo ni hatari kubwa kwa sababu inapita mlima na there is a valley very, very deep, and the road quality is so bad, and madiwa makubwa baadhi ya nyakati yanaanguka. So you have to look for a solution. Which one is the best? To find the best driver, mahiri, to find the best car, or to choose an alternative road. There is another road a bit longer, but it is not from that mount. Which one is the best? Not to go to this road, okay? To choose another road. Don't say no. You see, there is an Instagram page. I know sometimes something very immoral is put there, but I keep my eye. I close my eyes when I come to that page. I'm a very good driver. I know how to drive. I have a good car. I know how to drive. This road is so dangerous. Why do you take this road? So certain groups, certain channels, certain pages cut it altogether. If you want to keep safe, cut it altogether. Exit, leave that group. Because don't tell yourself, don't deceive. I deceive myself many times. I say, oh, I'm a pious man. I go there, I select what I read. You want to select, but when you enter, you see, my soul is affected. Not always I'm so strong. When I pray, my heart is present. God helps me a lot. But when I'm alone sometimes, shaitan is also there. It's tempting me. So I have to make a barrier. I should make a barrier so that, see, I don't download the photos. See, the photos, they come up, I have to press to download. Even when it is blurred, it still gives you an idea. And the mind is curious. It itself creates a photo itself. Oh, it must be this. And your mind becomes busy for minutes. Even when you want to sleep, still it comes back to your mind. So you have to use the techniques against these temptations. Don't enter. And we have many safe pages, many safe channels, many safe groups. There are plenty of them. Why do I choose to go in a dangerous road? Some people, they say, I want to show my strength. I go in a dangerous way and I keep myself safe. There should be some people to guide those people. I want to go there to guide them. Okay, be careful. It's like a microbe, a disease. If you have been vaccinated, yes, you can go there. Otherwise, you will be affected yourself. So those two verses of the Quran I want to read. تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ فَلَا Anyone? تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَعْتَدُوهَا تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهَا. Two verses. One in Surah Al-Baqarah, the other one in Surah An-Nisa. Once God talks about divorce or inheritance. Excuse me. Both in Surah Al-Baqarah, one is about divorce. When God talks about divorce, talaqa, say, the relation between a wife and husband, talaqa, say you have to, hududullah, to keep by the boundaries. Don't exceed the boundaries. For example, the rights of wife, the payment, whatever, don't exceed the boundaries. It is clear. Boundary, mipaka, usivuke mipaka. So, but there is another verse in Surah Al-Baqarah, said, Tilka hududullah, these are the boundaries. Fala taqrabuha. Who knows the meaning of fala taqrabuha in Amanisha? Don't go near. Don't go near. Listen, don't exceed. Don't go near. Don't approach it. Because this is about sexual matters. That verse is about sexual matters. So it is always tempting. It takes you. So don't go. So I walk just by the edge of the valley. No, it's so dangerous. Keep a distance. For sexual matters, we have to keep a distance, not to go to the limit. So I don't exceed. No, it's very dangerous. You cannot keep it there. So keep a distance. That was one subject of, we had some other issues with one, just let me, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 side effects on the negative side, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the positive side. But sorry, I prolonged my talk, but I think it was important, this particular point. Inshallah, if we had another fursa, inshallah, we will communicate. Any question? Yes, Shaban. Take the mic.
I have one question.
Yes.
In social medias, especially in Facebook, there are some of advertisements which will appear on your page without your consent. they are named sponsored. Have you seen that, something like that?
Yes.
Some of contents.
Or YouTube, for example, when you want to watch a clip, it starts with an advertisement.
So it interfere you. So some of content are negative. So
you're right. There are some areas you cannot prevent. So in that case, it's like you remember COVID. Okay? Sometimes you go somewhere, there is no way, you have to go. You cannot keep always yourself in the house. Virus is there. But here, in this regard, you always be careful. You know that it starts with that. So don't, just to try to not to, to distract your sight. The moment it appears, okay, just don't continue looking at this. This is what I can say. Because sometimes it appears, I also give attention to it. At least to stop this, I do not have any solution to stop it altogether, but at least I can handle the issue with controlling my own sight. When it comes, I look down. I know YouTube starts with an ad. When I click play, I just look down, and then after, this is what there is a hadith saying that if you are walking in the street and you see someone coming, for example, a girl with indecent clothes, then look down. If you look down, all the creatures of God in the earth will ask for your forgiveness. They will go, oh God, forgive this man. So you see, because God knows this person is fighting with his desire now. This fight is very valuable. The more difficult is the situation, the more reward will you get through fighting with those desires. Okay, thank you very much.
I have a suggestion and also a question concerning this idea of maybe looking down when a pop-up advertisements come on your page, social media pages, or YouTube. I think sometimes it's very difficult. Yes. Yeah, it's very difficult. But my challenge is, if this social media was created by someone, or was created by a human being, and it goes against our either ethics and morals, maybe the solution would be we create the other social media which will be suitable for our environment. For example, we see Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, somebody created it for his purpose, and then these distractions comes. Then we Muslims, we see this is against our morals, then we can decide. We have very professional ITs in our communities. They can come up with other means, social medias, pages, or social medias platforms, which will be at least safe for our eyes and for our morals and other activities. That was my suggestion. But also I wanted to ask, you said that the European, before, they are also, they have this faith of God, as you mentioned before. And so the culture we see today, which we blame them for destroying ours, is not like they came up with the idea, let's go and destroy African culture, or let's go and destroy other people's culture, but before they were destroyed first. So my question comes, who was responsible for their destruction?
First of all, concerning your suggestion, I 100% agree. What I said here was in the individual level. But when you look at it at a communal stage, or in the stage of a society, yes, that is the solution. Because we have to create our own. Now, for example, in my country, we have started some social media internally, and they are very active, especially after shutting down some the access to, I mean, some other global social media. But it's a long way and not an easy job. It's not an easy job, but this is the solution. This is the long-term solution. But for the short term, we have to think of something for the individuals. So what I said was about the individuals. The second question, where does it come from? Okay, it's a very multi-dimensional question. It's not one dimension. How did this transformation take place in the West? It has many reasons. Some because of, we can say, separation of religion, to separate faith from the social life, perhaps was the main cause. And one factor was the misbehavior of some religious people in the West, some religious powers in the West. They mistreated people in the name of religion, and it caused a fierce reaction, a strong reaction from within the European societies. That is one cause. We should not exaggerate it, but it is there. So in the history, we hear of some harsh treatment of religious leaders, which caused people to revolt against the rule of religion. This is one cause. The other cause is that you remember the story of Ad and Thamud. Okay? God gave them mercies of life. إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد. God says that the way the equipments and the capabilities I gave to people of Ad, it was unique. So when they were given these mercies of God, but they did not keep the way of God. So if you get a mercy from God, if you are thankful, it will help you. If you are not thankful and if you turn away from God, it will kill you. So in the West, they had achievements in science. But instead of following the religious path, they turned away from God. They started philosophizing against the existence of God. And it had its effects on their culture and society. So the further you get from God, the more harms you will bring to your life. This is what I can say in this regard. Okay, shall we? I mean, if there is any more question, so if not, you will conclude the session or. So, just before that, if there are comments, I'm happy to hear. If not, I just want everyone to introduce very short himself or herself so that I get to know a little about every person here in this meeting.
Kwa social media,
yes.
Nansikia. Kwa social media, haya matangazo ambayo hatuyahitaji.
Mimi siwezi kusikia, yani lazima kuchukua mic hapa sawa?
Hapa. Kwa social media, kwa yale matangazo ambayo hatuyahitaji. Baadhi ya unanisikia?
Umesema katika social media imetengenezwa na
katika social media. Kwa zile promotion au advertisement ambazo hatuzihitaji.
Promotion ni nini?
Advertisement.
Advertisement ya nini? Ya advertisement ya? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is option if you are not interested,
Uh-huh. But is it free or?
It's free.
So is it on Facebook?
TikTok and Instagram.
Because on YouTube, no, I don't think.
TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok, I forgot to ask. How many TikTok users here? How many? TikTok? No one? Just 1? 2, 3. Okay. Yes, that is a solution for those, that point, if it is possible to stop it. Sometimes we are curious. I don't want to, for example, look at sexual thing, but I'm curious. Just not, very, very normal. But this curiosity is harmful for me in this area. Thank you.